All right, ladies and gentlemen, you knew it was coming. It's a rigged jury in New York, and they're saying every count is guilty. Because the judge told them, you feel like he's guilty, remember the law says he's guilty. So President Trump, in a rigged, weaponized trial for something he never even did, is guilty because they don't want him to run for office. He's going to backfire on these criminals. They're using lawfare to control people.
Yes.
And looks like they'll be victim on every count. I predict today you would see this come out because the jury followed the judge's directive. You don't need an analyst to commit any crime. Just if you think anything he did was wrong, just convict him on everything. So this is the malfeasance of the judge. This is the fraud of the judge. And President Trump found guilty on how many counts? They're reading them out. We're learning right now. By the way, all of them. Literally, one or two out to act like
they didn't do that.
Weaponization. The judges find me guilty. They have a show trial. You find out how guilty I am. And I told you, they're coming for you.
They're going to be coming for everybody after that because they're going after his lawyers. They're going after his supporters. They're going after everybody. But again, it's backfiring. Tim Pool donated a maximum amount of Trump. I think it's $30,000. Let me check over here. He donated a maximum amount of Trump because as an individual, you can't. Yeah, apparently it's $3,300. He donated. He didn't do that. I think he's a multi-millionaire. He's his own NASCAR team. But yes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, the Wicked Wizard, back on here, just doing a quick live stream to check what happened in America today. They once again crossed another Rubicon. These leftist idiots over there in New York City have found the President of the United States guilty of 34 counts of some kind of felonies. We still don't know which ones. I mean, I really don't know. I don't know if anybody does, but it's it's the first thing that fell in America to make us officially a communist country. Well, I guess it started when they raided Trump's house. No, I guess it started way before that, but when they spied on Trump's campaign. When did it start? How far back can we go? We are now officially communist, though, because we just convicted a president with zero evidence. We don't even know what the crimes are. And no, hey, it's going to backfire. But yeah, we're no longer any better than China, Laos, Vietnam, Cuba, or North Korea. These are the current communist countries. And here are the former communist countries. We have more down here. That have communist parties in power. And, we're going to add America to this list right down here. This list will now have America in it because we have communist parties in power. Yes, we do. Communist countries are now in power. And the good news, though, is this ain't really going to matter too much because, hey, did you also know that our founding fathers made it clear that federal officers elicit even criminal sexual activities as well as bribery, conspiracy, and lying to hide them from public view were neither impeachable offenses under the U.S. Constitution nor even a disqualification from appointment to high government office. Why? Because they knew that people make shit up. They knew that, that's what happens when these scumbags make stuff up. And, that's what they did. So it is not a crime, or rather, it is not stopping Trump from being president in any way, shape, or form. Did you also know that, the founding fathers were smugglers, tax evaders, and traitors? They were obviously criminals to the crown, insurrectionists, traitors. And because why? Because they were evil. The crown was evil. And they knew that. And so they were all criminals and then allowed the people to be elected, even if you were convicted of a felony, right? Yeah, they were slave holders, but that was a thing at the time. But our founding fathers were badass. They knew what was going to happen. They predicted it. And look, I love this. Check this out. It's like Maxine Waters, Trump, shut your mouth. Talk about saving the Constitution. You're the one who's disrespected the Constitution. You have supporters who believe we should get rid of the Constitution. Where? What supporters of Donald Trump ever said get rid of the Constitution? This bitch, just shut your mouth. You're convicted on all counts. Oh, wow. Really? With a rigged jury, a corrupt judge? I mean, what did you think was going to happen? Especially, we all were holding out a little bit of hope that there would be maybe a one juror on there that would be, say, I'm not going to vote for this crap. But no, when the judge gave his instructions that you don't have to agree on a crime, just all pick a crime and then he'll be guilty of all 34 felony counts. We don't even know what they are. So whatever. But there's a lot of good news coming from this because Donald Trump will definitely still be president of the United States. That's the man right here. He will still be our next president. And this is going to make him more popular. You done messed up again. This too shall backfire on you. You are a bunch of commie clowns, and we've got to stop it. Yep, he is on your side. That's absolutely true. Yep. Alvin Bragg, what a piece of shit he is. Today, a jury found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Yeah, what are they, Alvin Bragg? What are those counts? What you made them up to create this? Yeah, I will now absolutely be voting for a now convicted felon because it's bullshit. It is all nonsense, total 100% bullshit. So yeah, we're going to be voting for Donald Trump, even though he's a convicted felon. Like I said, we're just going to support him more. And this is basically the best thing for today. You remember this day for the rest of his life. America has fallen. We have officially become a communist shithole third world country. Congratulations, Democrats. Yay. Yay. And you Democrats really don't know how this works, does it? You think that because you're on the side of injustice that somehow you will escape justice. It doesn't work that way. Even if your party of communist scumbags wins again, they can't win on merit, that's for sure. The only way they can win is they'd have to steal another election. And if they do that, you think you're safe? No, if they were able to carry this out to fruition and become absolute power, and there's no elections anymore, which is what they want, you will be the first to go. You idiots who support this shit will be the first people to go. That's how communism works. You idiots think that this is a good thing because, it's not. Look at it. There you go. Hey, my name is Chandler Crump. I'm 19 years old, and in 2024, I will cast my first vote for president. I will be voting for Trump, right? Not piece of shit Biden. No. What else we got? I got Tim Pool down here. The establishment trying to start a war in an effort to dissolve the U.S. Constitution. Abso-fucking-lutely they are trying to dissolve the Constitution, not Donald Trump. You pieces of shit have done this. You have started this. You opened up a communist can of fucking worms. You're a bunch of scumbags. Look at this. If you call yourself a man and you vote for Joe Biden, know this. You're not a man. You're a pussy faggot bitch. Hodge twins. That's what they said. Right? Trump is guilty. Justice, accountability. No, there's no justice or accountability. Whoever this John Cooper piece of shit is. Who is he? Ex-national. What? Come back here. Ex-national finance chair of draft Biden. What the hell's that? Finance chair of draft Biden. Wow. Yeah. How ridiculous. Manhattan DA brag and says Trump was convicted on the evidence. Now, and the law alone, wow. I mean, it's shameful. It's shameful. Yeah, Mr. Alex Jones over here. Yeah, here's our boy Donald Trump. What's Alex Jones got to say? He's been doing some good stuff over there, and I bet he has some good things to say about this. Let's see if we can find something. Well, let's check this. Let's see what Roger Stone has to say. How long is that? That was 23 minutes, so I can't play it all. But
well, Alex, first of all, one cannot poll within the eye of the storm. I see online people already have Insta polls out. Those appear to prove that the president has sustained no damage, that the American people have seen through this. But it's going to be a day or two. We also don't know whether, given the irregularities, there is some possibility of Trump appealing directly to the U.S. Supreme Court on due process issues. That's very rarely accepted, but very rarely we had a president of the United States in this circumstance.
Yeah, this is a constitutional crisis.
There's no question about it. And look, it's hard to digest. This all just happened. Like you, I haven't had a chance to read all of it, but I must say I'm not even remotely shocked. This baby was rigged. Trump could have.
Oh yeah, we talked a few days ago, and you said he's going to be convicted. It's New York. What the hell's wrong with these people?
Well, look, Trump could have had Clarence Darrow and Abraham Lincoln as his lawyers, and he still would have been convicted. This was a rigged deal from day one.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth about what's happening next. Visit Infowars.com/show and share the link today.
This is an amazing moment. This is a historical moment of incredible tyranny, showing the deep state is absolutely going for broke. Roger Stone, Trump, all 34 counts in the most kangaroo court ever, with the judge literally telling them to illegally disregard everything, just find him guilty. Roger Stone.
Alex, sadly, I'm not shocked, nor am I surprised. I've already seen this movie. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Roger.
I apologize. This is like when Kennedy was shot. This is a moment that every American is going to remember. Sadly, I'm not shocked. I've seen this movie before. With the gagging of Donald Trump, just as I was gagged by the judge refusing to recuse himself, despite the fact that he was a Biden donor and that he was his daughter was making a fortune off of this trial. Just as the judge, in my case, made prejudicial statements regarding May refused to recuse herself, a refusal of a change of venue to a location where you might get a more balanced jury. The limitation of witnesses, saying that Donald Trump could not bring the former head of the Federal Election Commission in as an expert witness to say that these transactions had not violated federal election law, just as I was not allowed to bring Bill Binney, the former high-level counterintelligence IT expert from the CIA, in to prove that no one ever hacked the Democratic National Committee. So I see the same tyranny in this trial that I saw in my own trial. It was, I guess, in retrospect, I was the template for this. I was the test run. It didn't get as much coverage because I'm not a former president, but the president has been subjected to the exact same.
And Roger, I want you to roll through that and have the floor here, because this is viral. Viewers are watching. We're going to take this interview in a few minutes and post it to X as well. But what is the aftermath going to be if all of these show trials have backfired on the deep state? Now, what is this obvious show trial conviction with the judge saying convict him no matter what to the jury? What is that going to do?
Well, Alex, first of all, one cannot poll within the eye of the storm. I see online people already have Insta polls out. Those appear to prove that the president has sustained no damage, that the American people have seen through this. But it's going to be a day or two. We also don't know whether, given the irregularities, there is some possibility of Trump appealing directly to the U.S. Supreme Court on due process issues. That's very rarely accepted, but Very rarely we had a president of the United States in this circumstance.
Yeah, this is a
So,
constitutional crisis.
there's no question about it. And look, it's hard to digest. This all just happened. Like you, I haven't had a chance to read all of it, but I must say I'm not even remotely shocked. This baby was rigged. Trump could have.
Oh
had
yeah, we talked a few days ago, and you said he's going to be convicted. It's New York. What the hell's wrong with these people?
Well, look, Trump could have had Clarence Darrow and Abraham Lincoln as his lawyers, and he still would have been convicted. This was a rigged deal from day one. Some people had false optimism that there were people on this jury who would look at the actual legal questions, but the trial structure was so rigged. Trump was so limited in what he could say. It was true that Michael Cohen was proven to be a liar on the stand. It was true that no evidence actually tying Trump himself to these bookkeeping transactions. I still don't think the government proved an underlying crime.
No, you're right, Roger. I mean, even liberal mainline analysts say it was a show trial. It was a fraud. The judge's instructions are unprecedented criminal activity, violate the law on its face. I'm asking you to go out on a limb. I don't think it's a limb. You and I predicted years ago all these fake show trials would backfire. I predict this will make him go up 5 more points. He's already 20 points ahead nationally, 13 in battleground states. I predict a 25-point lead now.
Well, from your mouth to God's
25-point lead, huh?
The trend
nice.
Here, on the other hand, the left has what they want. They wanted to be able to say Donald Trump is a convicted felon. That's for purposes of this upcoming CNN debate. They don't care that this will be.
They just want Biden to be. Oh, by the way, that's the other big one. Biden is set tonight to do a victory lap. Roger, can you respond?
Yeah, unbelievable. First of all, he should be keeping his distance from this. The reason he's not is because he can't help himself. Was orchestrated by people in his Justice Department and in his White House. You have, I hate to say it, but a racketeering conspiracy involving these state and federal prosecutors. The whole thing is driven by Biden. Trump.
Yeah, so this is all set up. It's all from Biden. It's all BS 1,000% times 1,000,000% or something. I don't know. But, I mean, this is unprecedented. Just like everything they've done so far. First, they raided Donald Trump's house. Never happened before. Over paperwork that Donald Trump took from his own time as a president, which is his right to do so under the Presidential Records Act. And every president before him has done the same thing. There was a dispute between him and the National Archives, and they were dealing with that. They had the records under lock and key, protected by the Secret Service. The FBI could have just simply come in. They did come in and inspected them. They told them to put a lock on it. There was negotiations going on. And the FBI could have just simply called Donald Trump up or called his lawyers. They didn't have to raid his house. But then we find out, not only did they raid his house, no, they sent plainclothes cops in with the deadly authorization, the right to kill. They were hoping something would pop off and Trump would die. This is how evil these people are. They tried to kill Trump. That's the first thing they did, right? And then bullshit charge after bullshit charge after bullshit charge after bullshit charge. They're all falling apart. They got a victory today, but it doesn't matter. It's totally based on 100% bullshit. Will be overturned, but that won't happen until after the election. And for those of the people going around saying Trump will just pardon himself, he cannot. He cannot pardon himself on state charges. But at the same time, I don't understand how a state can find him guilty on federal election charges. So, you know, the idiot Democrats can do whatever the hell they want. What's rule of law? There's no rule of law to them. To them, the rule of law is as long as I'm right and I'm in power. That's their rule of law. So it's all bullshit. But hey, man, I'm gonna let you get back to this. I was not gonna. I thought I was gonna cut it off, but I think I'm just gonna let this play because it's very interesting. Here we go.
Is right when he says that. Crazy that this woman on Fox tried to claim otherwise. This was a political takedown. Alex, how many times have we played the bite on your show of them asking Biden, how he feels about a rematch with Trump. And he says, I'm not worried about it. We're going to use the Constitution so he can't run. There it is, right there.
Absolutely.
Yep. There it is right there. They cannot win on merit. They know it. So they're going and blatantly out in the open. And all the people who are okay with this, man, you are dumb. You never cracked open a history book. You have no idea of the understanding of socialism, communism. This is Marxism, I believe. But you think you're going to be okay if the Democrats stay in power forever and there's no more Republicans and they can just do what they want? I mean, there's already a stupid uniparty, right? But you think you'll be okay because you're a Democrat? You're not. You're absolutely not. You don't understand anything. You need to read a freaking history book. I mean, look at Hitler. He took out the brown shirts. Look at Stalin. He took out everybody. I mean, whether they're on his side or not. As a matter of fact, he took out the people that are on his side first, so he wouldn't, so they wouldn't be a threat to his power. And you people are just dumb. You're willing to give up rights because you hate Donald Trump, and you're not even smart enough to understand what the ramifications of what you're doing is. Well, it ain't going to turn out good, and it don't really matter here in the end because now you've crossed another Rubicon, and now Donald Trump has the power to come after you once he's our next president, which he will be. And so, do what you will, I guess. There you go.
Absolutely. And by the way, I've got a statement from the Biden-Harris Obama third administration here. I'm going to read this on air. Biden-Harris campaign statement on today's verdict. Below is a statement from Biden-Harris 2024 Communications Director Michael Taylor on today's verdict. In New York today, we saw no one is above the law. My God, that's rich. Donald Trump has always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences for breaking the law for his own personal gain. But today's verdict does not change the fact the American people face a simple reality. There is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, at the ballot box, convicted felon or not. Trump will be the Republican nominee for president. So they're capitulating to that. The threat Trump poses to our democracy has never been greater. That's why they want him off the ballot. He is running an incredibly unhinged campaign of revenge and retribution. That's what they're doing. Pledging to be a dictator one day, that's all out of context, and calling for the Constitution to be terminated, that's not even true, so he can reign and keep power. A second Trump term means chaos, ripped America freedoms, and fomenting political violence, which they're going to stage riots when he's president-elect. And the American people will reject it in November. Wow. Let me get Roger Stone's take and then Owen Schroyer's.
First of all, an admission here that Donald Trump is still formidable. So they're basically saying, even despite this, we're going to have to stop him from becoming president. So they already recognize the backfire here. And then just a constant recitation of their phony talking points. They are the ones who are a threat to democracy. They're the ones trying to lock up their leading political opponent. They are the ones spying on 178,000 Americans without search warrants. They are the ones seeking to censor free speech. Censor free speech on the internet and in all modes of communication. They are the authoritarians. They are the threat to democracy. Today's conviction just proves that.
Roger, we're looking it up now, but I saw it 2 days ago. Biden said he will do an Oval Office address, normally reserved for war, tonight. So guys, check it. They may change it if he's, too doped up. But what do you expect Roger Stone to hear out of the puppet Biden?
Look, I think he's going to do what he always does. He's going to launch an attack on Donald Trump and the voters who support him. The attack on his supporters is almost as vile as the attack on him. Referring to Trump supporters as deplorable, as Hillary Clinton did, is a perfect example. This vilification of MAGA Republicans, vilifying people whose sin seems to be that they want to put their own country first. It is dangerous. It is divisive. This is the politics of fear. This is the politics of violence. They're the ones actually advocating violence. All the while they claim that we are doing.
Well, that's right. And Roger, let me add that next big point. I want you to continue on here. We're going to take this live feed and put it on my X account in 5 minutes. I want you to continue on. You're gracious to be with her as this huge news breaks. Obviously, you'll talk to Trump tonight. You'll be able to come back on with us tomorrow on my show and Owen's show, the other shows here at InfoWars while we're still here. Very dark days. But I want to have a cautionary alert here. I am viscerally angry. I am physically angry over this because my rights are being robbed to vote for who I want. This is a tyranny. It's like having your house robbed, but far worse, or your children raped. We have to be very careful. If I was the deep state, they will stage some false flags, provocateur something like the failed Whitmer kidnapping that came out in court was staged and made up by the FBI, or January 6th. I'm very concerned about them provocateuring something. We should get ahead of this and say, no violence. This is going to backfire. We do not support any violence. Roger Stone.
You're absolutely right, Alex, that much of this is meant to provoke people. People cannot be provoked. Again, we still don't know all of the ramifications. We don't know, for example, whether when sentencing will be. We don't know whether Trump is theoretically going to be confined to home and confinement, which would certainly cramp his campaign style, which is really their goal, or whether he'll even be allowed to remain at liberty pending appeal. That is not automatic, not with this wildly partisan judge. So I think we have to let this play out over the next couple of days. I suspect you're going to have a surge of millions of dollars into Trump's campaign coffers, which is important because Biden has been outraising him, although last month Trump did outraise Biden. But overall, when you include the party committees, they've outraised us. So that's
let's be clear. They've got billionaires. We've got small people. More to be for Trump. By the way, the numbers are in. It's now a July 11th sentencing date. Roger Stone.
Again, a lot will be determined between then and now. What do they do with the Secret Service in the event that they elect to send him to Rikers Island? Does he get 2 agents to go there with him? I mean, this makes very little sense. They know this will be overturned. They don't care. The point was to get the headlines, to get the moniker.
Absolutely. So that was their plan all along. They don't care. They know it will be overturned. I mean, it was everything they did was illegal, wrong, and not lawful, but they don't care. They just don't care. And if you don't understand this by now, I feel sorry for you because, I don't know really how to teach you how good America is. You can't do it. If you hate America, then you like this. If you hate Trump and like this, then you hate America. So, it's okay to hate Trump. I don't care if you don't like him. That's fine. But you cannot do this to somebody you don't like because you got to remove Trump's name from this shit. And imagine what they can do to you if they can do this to Trump. I mean, really, think about that.
So they can now gloat about it. And the fact that they were only in for 11 hours on a 34-count indictment. Experienced criminal defense lawyers tell me if there was serious consideration, they'd have been in there for a week. But
so let's stop there. Let me ask you this. You know the big guy, the real big guy, not Joe Biden, the 10% of the big guy. How is Trump going to respond to this?
Look, I'm sure that he is disappointed, but I also think he's a realist. He said every day in the hallway for the last week, this is rigged, folks. This is rigged. I'm not being allowed to put on a defense. The whole thing is rigged. The judge is corrupt. I mean, he's saying some of these things, I think, in violation of the gag order, paying the fines because they've sought to silence his voice. But look, you know what he's like. He's a brawler. He's going to be resilient. He's going to be angry. But he's going to be more committed than ever. He's already said in many interviews he was ready for this. Remember, he said, if I have to go to jail for the Constitution, I'm ready to do that. He's already said it. So we know how he feels.
Well, we can imagine what the debate's going to be like. And Biden's announcement tonight, which he said he'd make, where we're checking to see if he's still going to do it. I mean, this is going to be, I predict now, in fact, it's not a prediction. I know this is going to backfire because America is awake. And they see what's going on, and even my own persecution, that's nothing compared to Trump or Rogers, that was horrible, but still not as bad as Trump's. The people have rallied to us seeing through this. I predict this is their Waterloo. I predict that they've really screwed the pooch here, Roger.
I think they have overreached. Everybody, including those on the left, knew this was their weakest case. I think they failed to prove their case. Based on what I've read, there are rare instances where there's a due process violation. If, in fact, you had different people for different charges, that remains to be seen. They said, again, that he was convicted on all 34 charges. That would mean the jury had to be anonymous. That tells you something right there.
Yeah, it sure does. It tells you that this shit's rigged, that it was rigged the whole time. And, it was set up to get Trump. And if you don't understand that by now, you're blind or just a leftist and you hate Trump and hate America. And, if that's your views, fine. But don't sit there and tell me democracy is happening and the rule of law, nobody's above the law, all that nonsense, because you guys are all criminals over there on the left-hand side. Biden, Hillary, Obama, all you idiots over there have done way, way, way worse things than Donald Trump ever done. And Donald Trump's never even done anything illegal, but you all have, every one of you. And by the way, this does leave the door open for Trump to come after you. And you don't even realize that? You think this is going to save you, Biden? You think you're going to be able to stay in charge, in power, with this stupid 34-count felony conviction over a misdemeanor Stormy Daniels payment because Donald Trump may or may not have had sex with her in 2006? Really? Okay. Well, whatever. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
In 11 hours. 11 hours. So,
and this is the first president in history indicted like this, and the Democrats admit to take him out of the game. Absolutely insane. Roger, keep going for a few minutes. I want Owen to pop in. I'm going to go make sure this gets cut out right now and put up on Real Alex Jones on X. We might do an X simulcast right now. We're already video simulcasting, maybe an X Spaces, because this is huge. People need to respond. This is historical.
I'm always happy to be on with the great Owen Schroyer.
Owen, what's your take on this?
Owen Schroyer, by the way, they locked him up for 60 days because he was just at January 6th. He was just there. He didn't do anything. He didn't step on Capitol grounds. He didn't enter in a building. He didn't do anything. He didn't encourage anybody to go in. As a matter of fact, he discouraged anybody from doing anything, and they locked him up anyway. Biden locks up journalists that don't agree with him, that have a different political point of view, and especially journalists that are going to point out the crimes of the Biden crime family and these shithead leftists. Yeah, America has come to a turning point. That is for sure. And I don't know what happens next, but it ain't going to be good between now and the election until Trump gets back in. It's going to be bad. We're going to have some real bad stuff pop off, and it won't be from the MAGA side, but I'm guaranteeing you right now they will try to launch a false flag operation to blame MAGA for something. You wait and see. They will do this. Trust me. I kid you not.
Well, I wonder what they're going to do, because they obviously don't want Trump campaigning. They saw that massive rally he had in the Bronx. They don't want the optics of that ever again. And then Biden goes to Philadelphia, literally can't fill a high school.
So they have big enough balls to put an ankle bracelet on him? They probably do it.
I mean, sentencing being July 11th, there's probably some agreements between what he can and can't do now and then to remain out of prison. It's normally how it goes. So I don't know what those agreements are. Roger, do you care to speculate?
Yeah, no, you raise an excellent point. There are conditions of probation, and they can be as strict as the judge wants them to be.
But this is naked election meddling. Why he needs to challenge it? I think he will.
Well, there is a way to do that based on everything I have read. Very rare that the U.S. Supreme Court will hear it, but they do have authority to reach down to any court, state or federal, when there's a violation of due process, which I think has been the case here.
Well, and I guess considering the debates are coming up as well, that okay, sorry. So yeah, I'm guessing here that one of the motives is to keep Trump off the campaign trail. I mean, there's no doubt about that. This is all being run from the White House, at least to a certain extent. with the judge's daughter getting hundreds of millions of dollars from the Democrats. I mean, I'm sure that that's not a coincidence that that's what's going on here. But do you think that they just cancel a debate? I mean, what do they do next? Because there's so many different things on the table right now.
No, they don't. They're not going to want to cancel. They're not going to want to cancel the debate. This is the centerpiece of their defense strategy. Of their debate strategy. This is all about Joe Biden being able to say to Donald Trump, "You're a convicted felon." The correct response would be, of course, and Joe, you should be, and you will be soon enough, because the House Republicans just this past week, more evidence of Joe Biden meeting with the Chinese. Ironically, at a Sandy Hook memorial event, cutting a $10 million a year deal for the Biden crime family. So there's plenty there. Trump's best tactic is to turn this around on him. He can negate this trial by denouncing it as rigged, but then he can spin immediately on to the vulnerabilities of Hunter and Joe and Jim Biden, which are actually genuine, egregious financial and tax crimes. They may even involve treason.
Well, that's why this is also Twilight Zone, especially when you see that Biden-Harris statement, which, by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if the guy that released that statement is fired. This has happened multiple times with the Biden White House, where they just get some rogue member of their team to make a statement that never got approved because these people are just completely off the chain. So they might even come out and say, oh, we didn't mean to release that. I mean, that's how bad this is. But it's also Twilight Zone. Like you said, Biden is the one that's committed the crimes. Biden is the one that's above the law. Hillary Clinton is the one with FEC ethics violations, the exact ones that they're claiming Trump did. I mean, literally, Hillary Clinton did it, Roger. She was never in court.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I thought when I read the statement. I heard the statement from the Biden-Harris campaign. Nobody's above the law except for Hillary Clinton, except for Andrew McCabe, except for John Brennan, except for James Comey, except for John Podesta. Nobody is against the law except for Eric Holder. Those people are above the law. That's the real irony here. And you're right. Hillary Clinton did exactly this. She paid for opposition research, a dirty dossier that was completely fraud. She got defrauded. And she cloaked it as legal expenses in her Federal Election Commission report. And she was fined, I believe it was $8,000. And the party was fined $100,000 for this illegal bookkeeping error. There's not even evidence that what Trump did rises to the level of a Federal Election Commission crime, but Trump couldn't prove that.
And again, how can a state court convict a president, ex-president, gonna be our next president, find them guilty and get convicted on a felony criminal charge for federal election interference? Since when do state courts prosecute federal crimes? I never heard. Have you ever heard of that? Have you? Who has heard of any such thing? Who's ever heard of anything that the Democrats have done up to now? Nobody, because it's never happened. It's been just the way. I mean, the way the Democrats are, the way they act. They're destroying our country. They don't care about rule of law, and everything that they project on Trump, they're guilty of. That's the way it works. Sal Alinsky's rule for radicals. Blame your opponents for what you do. Yep, that's the way it is. They're communists. They're all a bunch of communists. And welcome to communist America, everybody. I hope you're all happy because you have no rights anymore. If they can come after a president, they can sure shit come after you. Don't you think? No? Okay, well, you're dumb.
To the jury because the judge prevented the leading campaign finance law expert in the country from testifying on behalf of Trump. Just another example of how the trial was rigged.
Now, again, we don't know what the probation agreements. Certainly, there's something out there, and maybe the legal documents will be made public, or Trump's team will publish them. But there's certainly some ramifications with dealing with probation until sentencing. That's just kind of standard protocol. And the fact that he's not in cuffs right now, going to jail, would tell me that there's probably some strict limitations either on his speech or more importantly on his travel. To me, Roger, I think the smartest move for Trump would be he needs to announce a rally and have it as soon as possible. Maybe in New York City, because they probably won't let him travel anywhere. I doubt he's under house arrest, but maybe they're saying he can't leave the district or something. I mean, to me, take this momentum and have the biggest rally that New York City has ever seen.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do Madison Square Garden. Yeah. I know your lefties are out there dancing in the streets thinking you did a good thing, but you didn't. You really didn't. Trump's donation website has crashed because it was so many people trying to donate. It just shut the servers down. You've made him a martyr even more than he already was. So this is all going to backfire, and I want everybody to chill out there. Do not do anything violent because that's not us. Beware of false flags because they're going to try to pop somebody off and they're going to try to say it was a MAGA. See those maggots? Because Trump got convicted as a convicted felon. They went out and did this violent stuff. It's all bullshit. We all know it. And Trump's going to be our next president. So who does it matter? These people are dumb and they need to be charged criminally because they did actual criminal shit. And that will happen because now you've given Trump the power. Anyway, I'm off of here. It's just a test thing. I was trying to see if my StreamYard thing here works with a live broadcast because my computer was brand new. My last one crashed. I got it fixed. I'm back into it, but I don't know. Windows 11 is horrible. But anyway, I'll see y'all next time in the next video. Peace.